You didn't know these 10 things about Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan has been known for his role of Winter Soldier in Avengers and Captain America movies, recently for his phenomenal performance in Pam and Tommy. But how much did you know about him? Let's see. Number 1. His first kiss was in Vienna.
My first kiss was on one of those trolley cars, yeah. I was in Vienna. Yeah, that's all I... Pretty good, I guess.
Number 2. His parents thought he was gay when he was 13.
I think my stepdad was really worried for me early on when I told him that I was gay. That I was gonna be an actor. No, but it's funny. It's so funny you say that. So I'll tell you this quick story. I was, let's see, I was 13, 14. I was going to camp for acting. My stepdad was a very conservative man, if you will. And back in the day, 13, 14, you know, we didn't have Instagram. We didn't have any of these things. We had AOL.com. There was no porn online. There was none of that stuff, right? Like, you know, like I remember a friend of mine would come over and we would, like, after school, the first thing we'd do would go on AOL and see how we could get, you know, like naked girl pictures.
Oh
like,
my God.
And so I started this file that I hid like 15 files deep.
Yeah.
I came home and one day, this big file of pictures or whatever, my stepdad was in his office with the computer and he was like, "Will you come in here, Sebastian?" And I remember coming in there and he had all the pictures up of like boobs and vaginas spread and the whole deal, right? And they were everywhere. And he was like, "We need to talk about this." And I felt so like I was like, he's gonna fucking kill me. I'm so in trouble. And he was like, "This one's pretty good." But, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And he was like, "I think we should maybe like delete this one." It was just one that was a little like too in your face or whatever. He literally looked at me and he was like, "I'm so happy, son, because your mom and I thought you were gay when you were growing up." And I was like, "Oh, you guys are too funny."
Number 3. He ships Black Widow and Winter Soldier, but most of his fans ship Stucky.
With the extensive history between Natasha and Bucky in the comics, do you think that they could bring that history to light in the future of the movies?
Yes, they can. They really should.
If you consider giving Bucky and Nat more of a relationship.
What do you wish for your character in the next movie?
To marry Black Widow.
Okay. You? Anyone you want to marry in the movie?
That I marry Black Widow before him, like it's in the comics.
Whatever. No. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is different.
To see
It's different. And he's stuck in the
why
comic
she says, "Don't you recognize me?" Because she's still thinking.
Yeah.
When you see the Winter Soldier now, he's sort of like a machine in the movies. But before that, there was actually a real character there, and that was the character that had friendship with Black Widow.
Tell Seb nobody wants BuckyNat.
Nobody wants Bucky and Natasha, which is Scarlett Johansson's character. So they have a storyline in the comic books that they could develop into a movie, and I guess that person
Nobody
feels they
wants
shouldn't.
that.
I guess nobody wants that, according to this
I
person.
kind of want to.
Number 4. After shooting Bronze, his tattoo makeup stayed on for a couple of weeks long.
Man, that thing was with me for at least 2 weeks. Yeah. So every time I was, every time I was at the gym, like going to the steam room, I had to wrap the towel like up to like my chest. So I wasn't that weird. So I wasn't that guy.
Number 5. He lets his classmates share his apartment in New York for free.
323 West 42nd Street, right across from Port Authority. I had one official roommate that paid the rent with me, and then we had all of our Rutgers friends kind of like just hop off the bus, cross the street, and then crash with us, you know.
Number 6. He says "intaview" with a British accent.
And then I found an interview with him, and our last interview actually got me rather lucky.
I was doing an interview with Julius Caesar.
And I put like sort of interesting interviews that I've read.
Why aren't you looking at me as much in these interviews?
I'm still kind of fascinated by this interview.
Number 7. He's a dog person.
I love dogs. The problem is, you have to it's just traveling so much. Like it's very tough to get dogs around. The dogs that I like would be very tough because I would love bulldogs or huskies. Those are the kind of dogs that I love.
Number 8. He wanted to play Riddler if he had a chance.
Do you still now have some kinds of movie or character you really want to play but you haven't done yet?
I would love to try to play the Riddler. You know, I mean, that's an interesting character. I don't know how you'd play that one, actually. That would be very hard, to be honest, because he couldn't be, like crazy. He would have to be kind of much darker than that.
Number 9. He wanted to be a teacher if he wasn't an actor.
But there's something definitely to teaching. They never get like their day in court, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a hard thing. But think about it, like you're going out there and you're inspiring people. Essentially, you're giving this message out. You know, you're passing something on. I don't know. There's something really noble to me about that.
Number 10. Absolutely every other celebrity on this planet, when fans ask them to choke their necks. OMG, that's so weird. Hell no. But Sebastian Stan would say, me on you or you on me. This is actually a real conversation I had with him during a photo op.